everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to cover our prep work for the Fishing for Soldiers tournament that took place at the end of May. It's a great tournament. It's one of our favorites to fish. We've been fishing it for about 5 years or so. It's a charity tournament, goes to benefit Smoky Mountain Service Dogs, a great organization that we really love to support. It's a very unique tournament because we have usually a really large turnout, sometimes upwards of 70, 80 anglers, and you get to choose what body of water you want to fish on. So we decided our best bet at placing well in this tournament was going to be fishing the French Broad River, since that's the body of water that we know the best. So we didn't have to really work hard to figure out what location we wanted to fish, because we know the stretch between Mutton Hollow and Cruz Valley, that stretch of the French Broad, we know it very well. It's our favorite spot to fish. So we spent most of our time figuring out what lures we needed to use, primarily what color Ned rig is going to be working the best, because the Ned rig is a staple for fishing for smallmouth on the river. So we spent a lot of time figuring out what color Ned rig to use. We also wanted to figure out what kind of active baits we needed to be using. Did they want something small like a Kitech swim bait? Did they want bigger shallow diving cranks? Top water, is it going to be something like a buzzbait or a whopper plopper? Or are they going to want something more along the lines of a walk the dog or a popper type? So we spent a lot of time experimenting with different lures and different approaches, fishing various stretches of the French Broad, from the shallow areas around Cruz Landing to the shallow rapids just down from Mutton Hollow. So we hope you enjoy watching us prep for this and how we strategize to figure out how to do it. So, without further ado, here's the video.
That's a decent sized one. No. No, he's just out there in the current. Smallmouth number one for the day. Pretty little fella. Another little guy. Another little guy. GoPro capture. Whoop. Little bitty guy. They're getting smaller, but I'm finding out what color works. Put on the electric blue and chartreuse and didn't get a bite. Jumped over to the sexy shad after getting several bites on smallmouth magic, and then 2 casts, had another bite. GoPro capture. Get a measurement on this one. Almost 17. Nope, 17. So there we go. 17. Mouth closed. Right at 17. Beautiful, beautiful smallmouth. And it's ready to go back in the water. So there you go. Gone. There we go. There's another decent one. Figured there'd be one by that tree. Current break. Another pretty one. Back you go. There we go. There's another one. Yeah, we're back into the little bitty fellers again. There you go. There we go. This shallow stretch seems to be holding a lot of little guys. Still fun though. Still fun. Yeah. These little guys are just stacked up in this little shallow area. They're loving these Kitex. Oh. GoPro capture. I don't know if this is a smallmouth. I think this might be a drum. No, it's a smallmouth. Nice. Dude, looks like you took a drive-by or something. Dang. There too. Might have been hit by a boat propeller or something. I don't know. Anyway, pretty fish though. There we go. Buddy, he wanted that thing. Another pretty one. That didn't take long. Holy cow. Another one's scarred up. I wonder what's getting these guys. Huh, that's crazy. Huh. Bit my hook. Well, good on you, mate. Back you go. All right. They may not be big, but they're up in here thick. This is an awful lot of fun. All right, my GoPro was turned off. Having some overheating problems, but there's number 14. Another little bitty guy. GoPro was off again. Overheated again. Need to find a solution for that, but I don't know what, since they're black out here in the sun. And they get hot. And another little guy. All right, well, we finished the day with 15 fish, lost a couple. So not a bad day, all in all. Figured out what they were biting on. Biggest one came in at just over 17. Had a lot in the 14, 15 inch range. It's a pretty good day. Probably 80% of them were caught on Kitech 2.8 inch swim bait in either Sexy Shad or Smallmouth Magic. Throwing those on a Kistler KLX 7-foot medium spinning rod, Shimano Noski spinning reel, and using I think it's 12-pound braid to a fluorocarbon leader. So anyway, that was our setup for today. The other few were caught on various Ned rigs. I think most of them were caught on the Finesse TRD in Fire Craw. But anyway, got a good idea now of what they're running on the river. So hopefully this means next weekend we can hit the river for the tournament and put some decent fish on the board.
All right, today we are going to be pre-fishing for the Fishing for Soldiers tournament. Excuse me, I've lost my voice. Been sick over this past week, so I haven't been able to do much fishing getting prepared for this tournament. But our plan is, since it's going to be Memorial Day weekend, we're going to do our best to stick to some waters that aren't going to be super crowded because of the holiday. So we're going to fish on the French Broad, probably do a pretty long float, probably starting at Mutton Hollow. We've had our best luck so far on these Kitech swim baits. They've been catching them pretty good in the Sexy Shad pattern. I'm also going to be testing out my new toy. I just received my Kistler crank, shallow crank helium rod, and I gotta say I'm really looking forward to playing with this bad boy. So let's see if we can't get on a pattern, see how well we can do for getting ready for this tournament. There's a fish. Not a monster, but it's a smallmouth. Grabbed it right out in the middle of the river. It's okay, buddy. Oh, little smallmouth. I'll throw him back.
That's a fish. Oh yeah, nice. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Ooh, look at you. Getting all aggressive. Yeah. He's got some size to him. Mr. Ned Rig comes through again. Yeah, feels like I may have a little grass on the line right there. Ooh, ooh. Or I might have a fish on the line. Really? You little bitty fella. You thought you had a meal that's gonna last you all day, didn't you? Look at you. Last time they were crazy for the swim bait. Now I've yet to catch a fish on it. Very interesting. There we go. Just had to get it in front of the right one. Here's hoping by the weekend. Oh, there you go. Here's hoping by the weekend that the big ones have decided they want to eat too. There we go. Yeah. Oh, this may, no, it's a little smallie. Number 4. If I'm fishing for fun, I'll take these all day long on this light tackle, but we really need to find some big ones for our tournament this weekend. There we go. There we go. Nice. Whoa. You are not a smallmouth. You are not the fish that I was looking for. Chomp, chomp. Oh, there we go. Pretty fish, but not what I'm looking for.
That's a fish. Felt that one come up and grab it while I had it slacklined. All right, well, hot craw. I can say I've caught more on hot craw than I have on coppertruce. That guy just might be close to a keeper size. Got it out finally. There's smallmouth, so I think I've got the color of a Ned rig I'm going to be going with this Saturday. All right, everybody, today's our last day to get out and pre-fish for the Fishing for Soldiers tournament. Our plan is to float the French Broad and hopefully get on some big smallmouth. We're hoping that being on the river will cut down on the Memorial Day weekend traffic. So that's the reason we're avoiding any lake as much as possible. We don't want to have to deal with a ton of boat traffic once it gets to between 10 and 11. So we're going to see how well we do here. We have figured out how we're going to fish in the shallower areas, but we've launched here at Cruz Landing. It's probably, it is the deepest section of the river that we'll be fishing, and we want to see how best to fish around here because we haven't done a lot of consistent good here. So we're going to see if we can't find some kind of pattern to catch some smallmouth here in this deeper, slower moving section, and hopefully get into some big ones, get us a good placement in the tourney. Gotcha. All right, well, that was a smallmouth. Hit the crankbait, the small one. We got it nonetheless.
There we go. Finally. Might be a drum. Ooh. Got some size. Yep. Drum. Well. That won't do us no good in the tournament. Boy, he smacked that crankbait though, I'll tell you that. And away he goes.
Oh my gosh. He is tiny. Holy crap, he's teeny. There he goes. Another one right out here in the middle. Not a big guy, but a fish. Ow, poked me real good. Oh, he sliced my finger open. Daggone. Well, that's a good sign. Hopefully there's some bigger ones than here.
We do have a new rod to try out. Kistler Helium finesse rod. Oh, I'm excited about this one. Oh, There we go. Hey, you little guy. Ah! Oh, there we go. I think it's a drum. Oh, nope, it's a walleye. Yep. Yep, walleye. That ain't gonna help us on the tournament either. There we go. There we go. Ooh, I think that's a big old drum. Boy, that one's got some heft to it. Of course, it's on this medium. Yeah, it's a drum. Yep. Oh, he hammered it. Dude, he hit that thing like a freight train. They're a great fight. Back you go.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. What we ultimately decided with this stretch of the French Broad was to fish primarily the Kitech swim bait because we were catching a lot of smallmouth on it. And when I say a lot, we were catching monstrous amounts of numbers. It wouldn't be uncommon for us to go out for 3 or 4 hours and catch as many as 20 smallmouth on it. Now, a lot of those were very small, but mixed in with those were some decent sized fish, some as big as 17 inches. And when you fish for smallmouth on the French Broad River, we found out the numbers game really works. You're fishing smaller lures, and occasionally you're going to get those bigger fish that go after it. You just have to get past those small ones. So the small Kitech swim bait in some kind of shad pattern, whether it be sexy shad or smallmouth magic, and then the finesse TRD Ned rig in a hot craw pattern. We also decided to better our chances at getting bigger fish, to have some larger baits on. So something like a Little John crankbait and 2 to 4 foot divers. And then we wanted to fish topwater early because who doesn't love fishing topwater? And we decided ultimately to go with a more active bait. So I decided to go with the Whopper Plopper 110 in bone. And my dad fished a buzz bait. So both active prop type baits. And we felt pretty secure in that. We'd done very well in the past doing this. And we thought this was our best bet at placing well in this tournament. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Again, thank you so much for sticking to the end. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy your Independence Day, 4th of July. And join us next week when we fish the Fishing for Soldiers tournament for 2023. Thank you.